Hello, my name is Mackenzie, and welcome to That Breeze. Hello everybody, my name is Mackenzie, and today we are in a 1996 Plymouth Breeze. Down below is a 4-speed automatic gearbox. Up front is a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder. So I am really excited to be driving this car because first of all, this is my personal car. I bought this off Marketplace last winter for $250, and it's been a very great car other than one main issue that we're going to talk about in this video. So let's get into today's video. So let's talk about that 2.0 liter 4-cylinder. It makes about 132 horsepower, which is not a lot. This is definitely a very underpowered motor, but you know, it has enough oomph to get out of its way, so I'm not too worried about that. And now let's talk about the transmission. It is a 4-speed automatic gearbox. That is kind of the Achilles heel of these cars. These cars are not known for their transmissions. They are kind of known for being just junk. This one is already the transmission's kind of acting iffy, so this is definitely going to get a transmission swap eventually. And so how does it feel to drive the Plymouth Breeze? Well, it's actually a very comfortable experience. Like, I actually really love how it drives and stuff like that. I think it's actually a very nice driving experience. It's a little floaty, not like 70s land yacht floaty, but you know, it's definitely like pretty boaty and floaty and stuff like that. So let's talk about the interior. So in front of me we have 4 main gauges. Off to the left we have our tachometer, in the middle we have our speedometer, and off to the right we have our coolant temperature and fuel. On the steering wheel we have the classic Plymouth boat logo and it says Plymouth, and we have our cruise control. That's it. It's a very 90s steering wheel. As I'm going to talk about later, this is a very 90s car. In the middle, we have 2 air vents, which to me really look like the air vents of a Mazda 121 Bubble. And then we have our factory Chrysler radio. And then we have our heater and air conditioning controls. Now, it is winter and the air conditioning doesn't work, but the heater does work, which is nice. And then we do have 2 cup holders, so we will do a cup holder test, and it actually fits our cup, so it passes the cup holder test. And then we got the shifter, pretty plasticky shifter, very 90s economy shifter. You got a big chunky push button, but it feels nice. It's got decent feedback, and that's all I can ask for. And then in the middle, we don't have a center, well, we kind of have a center console, but it's not much. It's just like a little tray, and we have our handbrake. And now we got to talk about the seats. So the seats are actually very, very comfortable. This is what I miss about 90s American cars, is that they had a fantastic, amazing seats. Even in basic little economy cars like the Plymouth Breeze, they had comfortable seats. Even in things like the Honda Civic, for Pete's sake, they had comfortable seats, which I absolutely really like. And then on the door, we have power locks, power mirrors, and power windows. This car is power everything. This is a little bit more of a higher trim Plymouth Breeze, so not all of these are like this. Power everything is a pretty rare option. And now we got to talk about the back seats. So let's hop back there and do a back seat review. Okay, so we are in the back of the 1996 Plymouth Breeze, and as I said in my first review, this car is so insanely spacious in here. It's insane. Now, my front seat is scooted up a little bit, but even in their normal position, you get like so much legroom in this thing. The seats are very plush, very comfortable, of course, you know, same fabric as the front. Now, the headliner is unfortunately sagging, so my head does touch the headliner, but like when the headliner's up, you get so much space in this thing. It's ridiculous. Overall, I just love these back seats. Now, we do not get headrests back here, which is just a thing to know. Back here, we have power windows, which is all we get, and we have locks, but we have no way to control the locks back here. You can only control them from the front. But, overall, this is a great back seat. Highly recommend it. If you want a car that you want to carry people in and be comfortable in, this is a car for you. So let's hop out and take a look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Alright, so we're at the back of the 1996 Plymouth Breeze. Open it up like that, and we get a huge trunk. Now the rear seat actually does fold down, so you could get even more space, which is nice. We do get a spare tire in here. You can kind of see it right there. We get some hubcaps and just parts and stuff, and there's some tools down there, you know, for your typical old car stuff. But other than that, huge trunks. This is what I miss about 90s American cars, and even some of the imports had it. They just had amazing trunks. Now, this does have double rear wishbone suspension, so it does eat into the trunk a little bit, but other than that, you get a ton of room, and that's what I love. That's one of the reasons actually why I picked this thing, is because I loved how deep and big the trunk was. And now we gotta talk about the look. So I actually really love the look of the Plymouth Breeze. As I said in my first review, I think it looks kind of sporty. I know probably most of you are gonna disagree with me, but you know, I think with some modifications done to it, it can actually be a very cool looking car, maybe even more than it already is. But this one's just fully stock. Now, when I was getting my first car, I had a choice between a Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, and a Plymouth Breeze. And you're probably going to be wondering, why did you choose an American car over a very reliable Japanese car? And most of the reason was because I just like American cars, like especially the weird ones that you don't see anymore, like the Plymouth Breeze. But also, I just think the Plymouth Breeze is such a special car, and I really like it. And I've heard a lot of people say that there's a mixed opinions about the Plymouth Breeze. It's not one of those cars that you either love them or you absolutely hate them. In my case, I actually really like them, and I don't get why other people hate it so much. Because this car is lovely, it's comfortable, it's spacious, it's roomy, and that's what I love about the 1996 Plymouth Breeze. And well, guys, so that was it for today's video. Make sure you subscribe to That Green Breeze. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and well, I will see you all next time.